Hi, I'm Amanda, and today I just wanted to share a little bit of my story with you. So, my life starts with a very normal childhood, but as one that I was never physically fit. I never believed that I could accomplish physically fit things. I remember being in elementary school and my PE teacher hollering at me to come on, Thomason, you can come around the bend, you can get your mile run in, and really wanting that coveted presidential fitness award, but never truly believing that I could actually attain the physical fitness requirements to accomplish what I really wanted to do. So chronically low self-esteem led to, unfortunately, a very young and very stupid marriage. And after that divorce happened, because of course, young and stupid marriage ended in a nasty divorce, I was diagnosed with chronic migraines, and I also have a bit of a genetic roulette that kind of happens with me because, unfortunately, my genetic history of medical problems is horrific. Early onset of high blood pressure, sleep apnea, heart disease, strokes, cancers, you name it. And a few of those things have already been diagnosed with, unfortunately. The hypertension, gotta love that old blood pressure, as well as a blood clotting disorder. And unfortunately, along with the physical issues, I also have struggled off and on with issues with depression and anxiety, which were only amplified after we were in a very serious car accident a few years ago, where we were T-boned on my side of the vehicle, which left me having a lot of physical issues, and after that my depression and anxiety just skyrocketed. Now let me tell you, all of this sums up is that I have not been doing very good at taking care of myself. But let me tell you, I am awesome at taking care of other people. I'm fantastic at it. My job, my life's work is I'm a therapist. I'm a mental health therapist. I help people every day figure out problems, work through issues, and get to the core of what they really need to do and help people discover their true self. But I really suck at doing that for me. Suck at it, totally. And so, unfortunately, because I'm not good at taking care of myself, I have tried many, many, many different things to get my life on track, my health and fitness journey on track. I have counted numerous points and ate in moderation, ate whatever I want, but just counted the points. Yeah, didn't work. I tried that pink drink and gagged. I ditched the carbs for a while and took a liking to bacon. I tried that famous wrestler's yoga program, if you know what I'm talking about. I did good old Richard Simmons. I tried walking and gymming it up, water aerobics, you name it, I've tried it. And unfortunately, I can come up with a really great excuse not to do it. I am the queen of coming up with excuses. What I have found for me is that I have a chronic issue with sustained motivation. I have very difficult time keeping up with something longer than about a month. I don't know if it's my attention span or what, but I just couldn't do it. Part of that is because I used food for everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. When I was happy, when I was sad, when I was grieving, when I was ticked off, food was the answer. So I had a couple of health scares, and you would think that that would have woke me up. I had an issue where I ended up in the emergency room with my blood pressure 180 over 120. They thought I was going to have a stroke. And I was like, this is going to be the thing that wakes me up. And it did for a little while, but then I would go back to my old ways again because I didn't know how to cope without food. So I also got diagnosed with sleep apnea. I would use my migraines, which were all the time, as an excuse. And then I finally started to get my health on track by taking medications and getting properly diagnosed with sleep apnea and getting on some medications for my migraines that really started to control everything. And then I had what I like to call the fated OBGYN visit. My husband and I had been dabbling with the idea of having a second child for a while, but at the time just never seemed right. Before I had my daughter Lainey, I had removed 60 plus pounds, and I had definitely gained back and then some before that fated day. I sat down with the lady who had caught my daughter one-handed 5 years ago and was talking about what our plans were for future children. And she had a tough conversation with me in which she begins to talk about how dangerous it would be for me to have a baby right now, and how my body was not working right because I had allowed myself I had just let it go. I had just let my body go to the point of where now my body was turning against me and was not functioning properly. Were all those health scares there before? Yeah, sure. And for some reason, that day was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I was mad. I was mad at her. I was so mad. How dare she say this to me? I had talked to her about, well, I had thought that if I did this, it would help me to remove weight. And she's like, well, obviously that's not working because the weight's not coming off. And I was mad. I was so mad at her. And then about a week later, after I drowned my sorrows in way too many little Debbies, I became to the realization, did some therapy on myself, I suppose, about who I was really mad at. And the person I was mad at was myself. I was so mad that I had allowed myself to get to that number on the scale that I never wanted to go. Because you all know, we all have those boundaries in our mind where we think, I'll never go over that. As long as I don't go over that, then I'll be okay. The size on the pants was more than I wanted it to be. In fact, I had started refusing to purchase pants because I knew that I was going to have to go up a size. So I just kept squashing myself into the same sizes. So after that fated OBGYN appointment, I had scheduled a dinner with my good friend Lacey. And my friend Lacey had been really undergoing this transformation. She had talked to me a little bit about it before, but I probably wasn't listening. And, she had said, oh, this stuff has been working great for me. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't think that's for me. Because, there was a price tag attached. And, it's like, well, Weight Watchers probably has a wing of their headquarters named after me. But I was like, it's just not for me. But that evening we sat down to dinner, and she is just glowing. She's talking about all these awesome things that she's into and how excited she is and how much better her self-esteem is. And Lacey and I are very much alike. And, she's lost weight and she's feeling good and she's feeling so positive. And she shares with me her vision of what she wants for her life. And I was like, that just sounds awesome. She's taken such good care of herself. Gosh, I wish I could take good care of myself. And unfortunately that night I was distracted. And maybe you know what I'm talking about. When you get to a certain weight, booths at the restaurant become your enemy. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But certain restaurants, their booth clearance is not what some other ones were. And unfortunately, at Chili's that evening, the booth we were in was exceptionally tight. And the waitress knew it was because she had asked me if we wanted to move. How embarrassing. And so I refused to move. I was like, oh, no, I'm fine. And I totally wasn't. And I was distracted. And the entire time that my friend is talking about all these dreams and hopes and wishes for herself and how she's transformed and how good she feels, all I can think about is how tight that this booth is on me. And then I started to really listen to her. And as I sat there in the too tight booth in one of the few pairs of pants that I had that fit, and they were leggings, just going to admit it to you now, I said, why have I said no to her about this in the past? Why not? Why not try this? And for the first time in a long time, I didn't have an excuse. Now, had I just snarfed down way too many appetizers and a few drinks? Absolutely. Not gonna lie to you. But I thought, why not? And that evening, as we left, Lacey handed me some samples of Shakeology. And I'll talk about Shakeology in a minute. And she's like, here's a week's worth. 3 days in, I was like, I feel good. My tummy feels good. And now I'm a person who's had chronic GI issues forever. my tummy feels good. I feel like I've got some energy. And you know what? I talked to my husband and I was like, I'm just at a point where I just figure, why not? Why not give this a try? And so at the end of March of 2017, I just decided that I was going to join Beachbody and I was going to go all in. And all in for me may mean something than all in for you. So all in for me meant that I was totally dedicated to purchasing Beachbody On Demand, which was a full year subscription to every Beachbody program that was ever made. I also was committed to drinking Shakeology, which is the superfood protein shake that Beachbody makes. And I was like, I'm committing to doing this. I'm committing to working out every day, and I'm committing to do this. But my motivation has always been my problem. And my friend Lacey became my coach. And she was my motivation. And I promise you, I relied way too much on her in the beginning. I texted her every day about how I just wanted something sweet and how I just was struggling with something and how I didn't want to work out. And she encouraged me. I also decided that I was going to go all in and be transparent to everyone around me. So I got on social media and I just started posting about what I was doing. Just started sharing my story, not for the purposes of giving myself some praise, but for the purpose of holding me accountable. If I was going to put pictures of myself in a cami and workout pants online, then I was going to do something different. And when people saw me, they were going to notice a difference and a change in me, just like I had noticed in my friend Lacey. I joined challenge groups, which are groups that are within other people who are part of Beachbody. And so with the challenge groups, I was connected with people who were doing exactly with me what I was doing. And I committed in the beginning to completing 21-day fix programs and Shako. I wanted to complete 3 rounds of 21-day fix. So 3 rounds of 21-day fix, obviously 63 days. So it's a little over 2 months or so. I committed to doing that because they say that a habit is built upon a 30 days. Or 21 days, I think. So anyway, I committed to going all in, being on social media, doing the challenge groups, doing the Shakeology, and doing the 21-day fix. And at the end of my 3 rounds, I was going to see where I was at, and I was going to make a decision. Before the 3 rounds were up, I'm like, oh, this is staying in my life, because I was losing weight, but on top of that, I felt good about me, and I was getting stronger, and I was able to see gains not just in my sizes, but in my attitude and how I felt about myself. I started speaking positively about what I was able to do with my fitness. I had never done that. Even in elementary school, I knew with the Presidential Fitness Award, I would never have attained it. So I talked negatively about myself with fitness, even when I was in elementary school. But I started talking positively about my fitness and what I could accomplish. The great thing about Beachbody is that it paired everything that I needed. It paired me with a meal replacement shake that gave me the vitamins, nutrients, and superfoods that I needed. It paired me with workouts, and I have a plethora to choose from, so I can't get bored. It paired me with nutrition through meal plans, apps, and support on how to do it, even a cute little container system that's color-coded. I had support from my coach and from the other people that I was in the challenge group with. And the other piece that was so important is that they encouraged me every day to do something called personal development. It was a chance for me to begin to take care of me, not just with my body, but also with my mind. And that was a big piece that I had been missing for so long. There's such a connection with our minds and our bodies. And Beachbody paired all of that with me, and it took care of me as the whole person. As of today, I've removed 42 pounds, and I've removed approximately that many inches. But I'm not done yet. I have so many goals for the future. I want to continue on my weight loss journey. I'd like to ditch some of these pills that try to help keep me balanced and in check with my blood pressure and things like that. And I want to take back the control of my mind and my body and my health. I don't want to be the queen of excuses anymore. I want to be the girl that says, why not? Or who says, it doesn't matter, I did it anyway. because that's who I want to be. And that's a challenge that I have to pick up every day and commit to. And I also have a dream of becoming my own boss. And that is something that is coming to fruition because of the confidence and the excitement that I feel about the things that are going on in my life. I'm so excited for the future and everything that there is to offer because of having Beachbody in my life. It has been the key to everything that I needed. I'm so excited to share my journey with you and to keep being accountable and to never say never and finally to think positive about my fitness goals. I want this for you. I want you to have this freedom and this peace and this confidence. If you want to know how to do that, comment on this video, message me on Instagram, comment on a Facebook post, holler, send a smoke signal, whatever you need. I want this for you because this is the coolest feeling in the world. Y'all take care.